Zombie apocalypse.
Good afternoon, the MML. It's me, good old Bernie Buffon, back here with another episode of the Road to the Playoffs. And in this episode, we're going to have a look at F4, apparently the best four, slash IL, is it the Iron League? Yeah, this was certainly one of the divisions I was really looking forward to when we did the pre-cap. And I was really excited to see how they ended up at the end of the season, or as it is after 5 weeks. All games have been played this week, that's good. When I did the pre-cap, if I remember correctly, I went for the Moosland Morning Stars, I think, to top the league, and Solar Savers to come second, or it was one way or the other. I also predicted the two Nagel teams, one of them would get relegated. Well, I know for a fact that blew up in my face, thankfully. And obviously, this was the home of the champion, McGreety Misfits. They was a champion. I predicted them to be around about 3rd place. And I don't think I gave the Goons much of a chance in this play pool. But was any of that right? We're just about to see now, after 5 weeks, is how the table is looking. And sort of alright, I guess. I mean, I said the Soul Savers, they're in 1st place. I said the Morning Stars up there, they're in 3rd. You know, George Goons near the bottom. You know, I think they might struggle. Misfits have had a bit of a mare. I do believe people said, though, after winning the championship, a lot of the championship teams have a bad season afterwards. So, and I've saw a few of his games where he's really, really unlucky as a Misfits. You know, really unlucky. So, you know, it's just one of those seasons, unfortunately. And the 330th Nagel Brigadiers have done extremely well in 4th place. Extremely well. They've been hard to beat. But I've never seen anyone burn through rerolls as much as HC fans for us. But you know what, mate? Credits where credit's due. You've had a good season and you're still in there fighting away in a really tough division. And obviously, massive mention to Plaguing. Yeah, he is a 4 horseman, but I'm not really using the 4 horseman tag here for any of these shows. I'm just going to treat him as just a normal team and a normal coach. And he's done amazing with the patched up team. Absolutely amazing. Has he had a bit of luck? He has. But he also had a bit of bad luck as well. So, you know, for him to be up there with 3 wins and 2 losses after 5 games and pushing for a playoff spot again with that team, I tell you what, that is amazing. Really, really is amazing. He just does it every season. So let's have a look at who's got what left and who I think will make the playoffs with 2 weeks to go. So let me get my trusty book out and we will have a look. Right then, so we've got the Solar Savers at the moment. 11 points. They're on maximum of 17 points. Interesting last 2 games. I've got the Moosland Morning Stars. That's a huge game in week 6. Obviously, the Vampires there of Stem Jala in 3rd place, and they're desperate for the win. And Chase knows if his Norse can win that, they're almost as good as, well, they will be home, won't they? Because that means the Vamps didn't win. And then they've got the 330th Nagel Brigadiers. Could be a tough game, but again, it's a game I think the Savers are good enough to win. But yeah, that week 6 match is huge, because if they lose that, then that would change the complete complexity of the division. So yeah, that's a huge game. I suppose if you chase, think don't get beat is the first thing. If you get a win, great. But whatever you do, do not lose to the Vamps. Plague Inc., they're on 9 points. The maximum they get is 15 points. And ironically, they're against the Misfits in week 6. Now, if I remember this right, the Misfits have never lost to the Plague Inc. So Rand's going to have to, flip the record books to get a win there. And then he's got the Georgia Goons in the last week, where again, sort of season the Goons were having, you'd think Plague Inc. could maybe win that. I don't think it'd be an easy game, but I think they could get that done. So there is hope for the playoffs again for Plague Inc. The Muslim Morning Stars, they've got a horrid run in. They've got Soul Savers in week 6, and then they've got the champs Magritte Misfits in week 7. So it's, although they're sitting pretty in 3rd place, it's a really tough run-in. That's 2 very tough teams to beat. But again, week 6 is huge, because if they can beat the Savers, then they will obviously go on joint points with them. And if Plague Inc. drop points, then all of a sudden it's looking good. But yeah, the Morning Stars, I'm not giving up on them as such, but you've got to look at who they've got to play, and they've got to play the Savers, who've got a lot of Mighty Blow, and then they've got to play the Misfits, who've got Mighty Blow and Claw as well, and they've got all them Strength 4 ball carriers and everything else. So for the Vamps, this is tough. They're 2 of the last teams you'd want to play out of this batch if your playoff spot was up for grabs. After them, we have the 3 and 30th Nagel. They're only on 6 points, so they've got a lot to do to make the playoffs, but they can get to 12 points, and it wouldn't be the worst. Well, not the worst thing, the most surprising thing to happen. They've got Innsmouth Deep Ones, but are bottom, so you think they'd have a chance there, and then they got Solar Savers in the last week. What might be a good one for them, because obviously if the Vamps beat the Norse and they can beat the Deep Ones, then it may be, well, if I beat maybe the Savers, I might have a sneaky chance of getting up there, because the Savers are 11, they're on 11. If obviously the Brigadiers win both their games, that puts them on 12. So, that's not a bad matchup. You'd rather play the team you're trying to catch last than not at all, because then it's in your destiny. But they've got to beat the Deep Ones first. If they can beat the Deep Ones, try and take it to the last week if they can. It is a big ask for them. But whatever's happened, Avancelo should be extremely happy with his performance in the pros. It's a good start. He's middle of the table, still got a chance for the playoffs, and yeah, really well done for him. Let's have a look. The Hopeless Necromantics and Magritte Misfits are barely hanging on to any chance of the playoffs. It's almost impossible, but mathematically it isn't. And well, the Necromantics, who have they got in the last 2 weeks? Let's have a look. They've got the Georgia Goons, and then they do have the Innsmouth Deep Ones. So you would think, looking at the table, is they have the best / easiest run-in, whichever one you want to take it as, and should probably win both games. Is that fair to say? But don't forget, it's Serious Jest and his dice. They always seem to give him so much salt. But if the dice behave, I'd be confident he can win both them games, and that would put him on 11 points. That's the maximum he can get. Is it going to be enough for a playoff spot? Well, I don't know. I don't know. But all he can do is win and put pressure on the rest. Beers has a bit more of a tougher schedule, I think, because he's got to play Plague Inc., although he'll say, I beat them all the time. But he needs to get a win there. And then he's got the... let's have a look. Oh, it says he's got Georgia Goons last week. Why did I think he had the Mousselon? Something's not right there. Let me have a look. I think I've made a mistake somewhere. So he plays Plague Inc. Plague Inc. plays Georgia Goons week 7. So where have I gone wrong there? Magritte plays the Morning Stars, yeah. So that, to me, is a really tougher running to me. So Plague Inc. and then the Morning Stars. So I'm not saying the champ can't do it, because it's proven he can do it. But it's going to be pretty tough. Out of the 2 teams with 5 points, I'd fancy the Necromantics over the Misfits, because I just think, they're playing teams, the bottom 2 basically. They're playing the bottom 2, where Misfits are playing 2nd and 3rd. So on the phone book, it should be tougher for him. Unfortunately, the Deep Ones don't have any chance of making the playoffs, but they do have 4 points. So you think with 4 points, that could be enough to make sure at least they are here for another season. Now, F4 claim to be the best 4 or best in the competition. They do have the champion. So yes, I agree with that. But for the IL, let's have a look. The IL have number 1, number 3, and number 4. So they have 3 of the 4 teams in the top 4. Where, you know, apart from good old Random Mad there, waving the F4 banner for Plague Inc. and F4, the other 3 F4 teams, well, you know, it's not good, is it? They're right in the bottom part. So, you know, the likes of obviously the Misfits and the Necromantics and the, I do believe it's the Georgia Goons, they've gone after, you know, try and get some wins and get some honour and try and get up there. Because at the moment it's just Random Mad flying the flag this season for the F4, but you know they do hold the champion in their division, so maybe they are the best 4. Who knows? Let's quickly have a look at the teams then before we have as a wrap. Innsmouth Deep Ones. Whiskey Tornado, great guy, great coach. It's not really happened for him this season, but he has got potential. I mean, Agility 5 Beastman there. An Agility 4 Movement 7 Beastman there, a Movement 7 Beastman there, 2 Mighty Blow Claw pieces there, one of them's got Tackle, one's got Tackle Preemptive Tail Guard, that's nice. Another guy with Leader on the Warrior. What am I missing out on? I'm obviously missing out on that's 3 Warriors with Leader now. Although he's moving 4, so that's a bit unfortunate. More like an Eggle Warrior now without the Foul Parents and Center Presence. But again, he's got some nice pieces there. He's got 150k in the bank, so it'll be interesting to see what he does with that. Probably bring another piece in, depending on that. But he's certainly got the speed. He's got the firepower in when I say the firepower in the agility stakes, and he does have some Mighty Blow down there. 2 Mighty Blow Claw pieces who can, you know, make a dent for sure. And he's got 4 Mighty Blow together, so he's got a lot of firepower in his warriors. That's where the plan seems to be the Warriors going to beat up everything, and then obviously his Beastmen are going to do all the ball carrying stuff, so all good there. So yeah, I expect them to be stronger next season for sure, and they could certainly do a lot better next season. Soul Servers then, I really fancied these at the beginning of the season, and I still fancy them. They've got some really good players. Obviously the nice built-up Yeti there, 2 Break Tackle, Ulfwen is obviously Kelvin. Very, very famous one. Ramman is there with his Strength 4, Agility 4. The other one, unfortunately, is missing this game, Galt. So that's a bit of a problem. Hanyolo, gotta love Hanyolo. Movement 9, Agility 4, what's not to like? Accurate, Sure Hands, Bludge, and Dauntless. Beautiful. And then obviously you've got a Lambman here. Fend, I like Fend. He's got Mighty Blow as well, so he likes to hit stuff. What's good? Guard on that Lambman. Standard blocks here. It's a really, really nice team. And I think they'll have a really good chance of making the playoffs. From where they are, yeah, they do have 2 tough games, but you know we know how good of a coach he is, and yeah, I can definitely see them making the playoffs. I think. Hopeless Necromantics. Well, let's have a look at these boys. So Hitch still hasn't got any XP. I love the name Fuzzy Cheeks. That's a nice golem, isn't it? Strength 5, guard, grab. The other one, dodge, werewolf, movement 9, strength 4, agility 4, tackle, cruel intentions, another strength 4 piece. I suppose he really wants Mighty Blow on that cruel intention. If we can get that would be a big game changer. Game night, Mighty Blow on that white as well. Maybe go tackle on that next, maybe. Big guard on that zombie. Huge, because he's only got 2 guard on a team was predominantly usually I would say strength 3 until you see the 2 strength 4 wolves. He does need a bit more guard. No data player in the team, what's unusual, unless he might have been killed, I don't know. But you know, 11 players, 17-14, not bad. The problem with Jest is when I usually see Jest play, his dice are horrid. So that's always a problem. I always feel like this is still in a rebuilding phase, this team. They was sort of flirting with relegation last season, but they went on a good run at the end and got themselves out of trouble. They're doing okay again this season. Again, if you can bring in another quality addition, you know, it's not going to take long for this team to get back to where they should be. Obviously, they're in a tough division as well, so it's always going to be tough for them. But you know, it's a good, again, another very good coach, 3 rerolls, a good solid team. I think, personally, I'd be looking at guard options and probably trying to get a replacement for Sleepless in Seattle, because Hitch at the moment is not cutting it at all. Plague Inc. No, not Plague Inc. Oh my god, I've missed the champion. My apologies, beers. Oh my god, that'd have been terrible. So, the champion, Maglita Misfits. Let's have a look what they've got. First thing what strikes out to me is guard, 5 guard. That's a nice amount of guard. Then they've got 3 strength 4. Sorry, no, 2 strength 4 beastmen, a strength 5 warriors. So they've got plenty of strength there. It's a nicely built team. Obviously, Yellow Tail, he's only movement 4 now, but he's still an enforcer. Can still get it done if anything's daft enough to get close to him. Obviously, Billy One Eye Willie, he's obviously being a solid veteran. Trish Rustless with his preemptive tail diving tackle. -3 if someone wants to dodge away from that. Good luck with that. Again, another warrior with leader. But it's good because it's the captain, so it sort of fits with that one more than anyone else because of the captain. So I guess leader's a good choice, I guess. And yeah, it's a good team, isn't it? You can see why this team has won a championship because he's got all that strength. Obviously, he's 2 ball handlers with a pain in the backside trying to get the ball off them. He's got enough firepower to cause problems, and the guard is key. He's got a nice batch of guard, 5 guard there. It's just one of those seasons. I've seen a few of his games where he hasn't had the rub of the green, where maybe the season before, them key things went his way. This season, they're not, and that's it. You've got to appreciate when you're on a good run like I'm sure he did. He'll be extremely happy that he's finally won the championship with the Misfits. They are. Nobody can take that away from him again. And you know what? He's a very savvy, very clever sort of coach. And I know he will have a transfer lined up to make him even stronger if that's possible. So I think this season he probably won't make the playoffs. But guarantee next season he'll be back on the horse and he'll be riding himself to the playoffs again, I'm sure. Plague Inc. Well, he's the magician, isn't he? He's around. Really, it was sort of like as a friend and as a 4 horseman, I was hoping he'd do well, but I really did fear the worst. But you know what? He's just got it done, hasn't he? Oh my god, he got double full on disease. Oh no, I thought it was his beast for some bizarre reason. I thought, oh my god, he's put prehensive tail on his beast of Nagel. I'm just losing my mind, aren't I, obviously. The unclean one, strength 6, what a super guy, block and all that. Even though he's only movement 3, he's still a good old beast. He's been doing it well. Low disease to me, oh man, this could be even so much better if he actually did something. Guess what? Another leader on another warrior. And then obviously block on him, and then obviously Police Up died. He's been losing his strength 5 warriors, so it's a shame. Chickenpox movement 4, he'd be so good, but again, a bit like the Misfits, he's had his legs have just buckled under the services given to this great team. Kishna goes, he is the superstar in the team. He's done so well for them. Movement 8 Pestigo. Blodge, Showhands, he's been a hero for this team, and he's one of the main reasons why they've done so well. Got a read there, we just standard block. Piers Rock Gut. Gotta love that. That's a brilliant name. And obviously, already got a 5 XP, so I hope he does well for him there. And then obviously, he's got his Rotters. To my knowledge, he was saying he wasn't going to bring any transfers in, I don't think. What is interesting because that will put him on a bit of a back burner. Unless he meant he's not going to sign anybody else's players, but bring his own homegrown in, maybe. Either way, he just knows how to get the best out of this team, And like I said with Alma, obviously how he got the best out of his team, Rand's doing the same with his team, and that's just to me, that's just a mark of a really, really good coach. That's just the way it is. So yeah, he's got a great chance to make the playoffs. I can't believe. Well, I can and I can't. He's got the ability, as he's proven obviously in Rebel and everything as well, how good of a coach he is. But I really, really did worry for him this season, and I'm so happy that he's got a chance of making the playoffs. George Goons, a lot of people like their chances, and I love Orcs. I just had a funny feeling this team could go through the mire, and sadly I was right. I mean, look what's left of this poor lot. Oh dear. I don't know what to say really, Kel. It's sad, isn't it, when it happens? Not got. Oh God, he's lost him as well. But I did. Interesting stat in this team. There's 8 players and 7 of them have Mighty Blow. The only player what doesn't has Dirty Player. So Firepower-wise, this shouldn't be a problem. They should be causing carnage. It's as simple as that. They should be causing carnage. Obviously, they haven't caused enough. Or they have, but they've took a lot more in return. I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, the team is still viable to play with next season. It's still a decent team. And obviously, this is a great thing about transfers. Is a Blackhawk down. God, I love saying that. So he could buy another Blackhawk to strengthen that up. But then again, he might think, I might need a Blitzer. I think he needs a Blackhawk more than a Blitzer. Be interested to see who's been beating these poor Orcs up. It's a shame. How much guards he got? He's got 5 guards, so that's not bad. He might have had more at the beginning of the season. I know a lot of people really fancied this team. I just had a bad feeling. I don't know why. I just had a good feeling that they'd have a bad season, and unfortunately, it's not a terrible season because they're not really fighting relegation. But I think, you know what, I would keep with the team, Colorado, and just say, I just want them seasons. We all have them. Next season, you could play the same, and you could be up there fighting for a playoff spot. I think the thing is trying to, in these next 2 weeks, try and get enough cash to bring something in, because desperately needs something else. So I think if Blackhawk he desperately needs ball handling skills. I don't know who's going to pick that up. I'll be honest. I just don't know. I don't know who you give it to be fair. Maybe number 11, Ram, because he's got blodge. Will he bring in? He might even bring in a thrower next season, or he might just buy one. I don't know. It's still functional, and it'll still be a scary team to face because that's 7 mighty blow. That's a lot of mighty blow. And maybe that's what he's done. Maybe he's tried to base a lot with his mighty blow and guard, try and get more and more hits, and he's just backfired slightly. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him play this season. I don't think. But my advice is just keep going. Surely next season can't be as bad as this for attrition. But yeah, good luck if you keep the team for next season. Right, the Morning Stars then. I really fancy them this season, and they're still there in 3rd place, fighting for a playoff spot, and they've still got some very, very good pieces. Obviously, Hillary Clinton's only movement 5 now, but 2 agility 5, a strength 5, movement 7. So agility 5 basically a lot of time mean they're going to be hypnotizing on a 2+, so that really, really helps. Less shots is an amazing piece. Agility 5, strength 4, Thrall. What an amazing piece. And the great thing is he can carry the ball, and then you don't have to worry about, oh my god, I hope I don't get bloodless when I'm going to go and score. He's such a really good piece. And if that wasn't good enough, he's now got Tarmish and the red, obviously, as we've seen as well. He's a strength 4 as well, so he could potentially be something useful as well. So this team has some really, really good players, especially the first 7 in there. They're definitely game players. Beers McGree, it's a shame that Beers of McGree, it's a shame that he's got movement down bust twice. But he's got guard, so he's still going to be useful for the team. I don't think I'd get rid of him. Didn't think I'd ever say that about a movement 4 player from movement 6. And as for the defender, well, he probably, I don't know what you can do with him. You either sack him or you just keep him to the end of the season, just put him on the LS, say, go and die. Or you go and take a hit. Some of my best players don't take that hit. I think they've still got a great chance to make the playoffs, just that it's going to be really hard with 2 big games coming up. They've got some good players. They've got 120k in the bank, so they're probably looking, on average rolls, about 160, 180 maybe, for money-wise. And if they make the playoffs, then they can obviously bank some more if they wish. And that's the intriguing thing, isn't it, about the playoffs and transfers? Because obviously, when you overbank, that means your TV gets inflated more than it should do, and that could cost you. Wins. Could give that other player, that extra star player, or that extra, wizard or whatever. So it's always a balancing act. Be interesting to see if he's actually got anything what could really upgrade this team. Does he need it? Or maybe it might be one of those teams where he might have, I don't know, a thrall with guard again, just get a bit more guard in there, or another agility thrall or something, what won't cost too much, but just add a nice bit of icing on the cake sort of thing. But when I've seen Stemgel play, I like the way he plays. I think he plays very, very well, plays vampires extremely well. And these are, I think really, almost every season, these will be there fighting for a playoff spot. And it wouldn't surprise me if these become the first MML champion vampire team. And finally, HC Vansalo. So another Nagel team, they've done better than I expected. He's got a Mighty Blow claw piece there. He's got another claw piece here, but then chose guard. What's interesting. I'll be honest, I would have took Mighty Blow if you're going to go claw. This Pesco, very nice. Extra arms, kick off return, 2 heads, 5 guard pieces. Frenzy piece, Pestigo. I like Frenzy. I like that selection there. An okay Beast of Nagel. A Tentacle on this guy as well. That's what I've got. I just went Tentacles on all my Nagel warriors just because I wanted a little bit of a theme. But it can be useful. It can be useful. It means they've got to roll something else if they want to disengage from you. So that's always useful. He's got another warrior here as well. So, you know, they've got some nice pieces in there, I think. 960 is quite high for what they are. But, you know what? It's Nagel and Chaos. They do blow up badly. But he's got a bench. He's got 13 players. He's got a kicker. You know, he's got his warriors. You know, he's got all the positionals in what a Nagel can have. So the team's in really good health. He's done extremely well this season, better than I thought he would, and I'm really happy for him because I want to see all Nagel teams do well. And I just wish him the best of luck for next season. I hope he gets better and better, and I hope whatever he's looking in the transfer market to bring in is a good one and does well for you. So that's it. That is that division done. And like I said, it's a close one, isn't it? You know, who's gonna make the playoffs? I personally think it's too tough to decide. Solar Savers are in the driving seat, but like I said, they've got they've got 2 really tough games coming up. Really have. But I still think they'll make it. I think they'll just have enough in them to beat the 313th Nagel Brigadiers. I'm not sure about you know, beating the Morning Stars. That's going to be a tricky game. Every time I look at this, I'm thinking of changing my predictions all the time. So I'm going to go Sabres and... Can the Sabres and the Stars both make it? Plague Inc.'s got a chance as well. Oh, it's like I say, it's really tough, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to go with the Sabres and the Misfits. I think... sorry, Misfits? Bloody hell. I'm going to go with the Sabres and the Morning Stars. I think the Morning Stars will get a good result against the Sabres, but then I think the Sabres will win in their last game against 313th, and I think the Stars will have done enough against the Solar Sabres so that they will only need something like a draw something in their last game. Relegation-wise, I don't think there's anyone who's going to get relegated from this division. I think 4 points is enough to make sure Whisker Tornadoes sees another season in the pros. As always, good luck to everybody in their last 2 weeks of the season. All the best for the teams who are making the playoffs, and all the best for next season in the MML Pro. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the pre-cap next season. Bye-bye.